Thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. Glad you made it today. Today I'm doing another video on the VA's 55-year-old rule. Is this fact or fiction? Is it true or false? I did another video on this not too long ago, a couple days ago, and gotten all kinds of different comments and questions and so forth, and different people's mindsets on it. Some were as far as it doesn't exist, it's basically a myth, and some say don't rely on it, which I totally get. But, you know, it leads to the question of, is there really a rule in place? Is there really a law for the VA to follow when it comes to 55-year and older rules? I will tell you this. Most things in the VA, and put it in this perspective for just one moment, there is so much nuance, there is so many different rules and different pieces of moving law. Things are getting changed by Congress consistently. Now, imagine you're a VA worker, which I am not, but imagine if you worked for the VA and, I don't know, you've been there for 6 months, a year. You're somewhat green. Let's say you're a GS worker, right? Federal worker under the GS pay scale, and you're like a GS 6 or 7. Chances are you're not going to know every single in and out and rule and how everything works and all the different nuance. So that leads to mistakes. The VA makes a lot of mistakes, but that's why there's appeal processes in place to correct those mistakes. And I will say, although I believe that the VA should not falter and they should follow the law and have all that stuff in place, do I rely on that personally, or anybody that I work with, coach, mentor, train, what have you? No. The onus, to me, is for us as a veteran community to share the information with each other and make sure that we know what our rights are based on fact and law. And therefore, if the VA misses something, slips through the cracks, whatever, it's not, in my opinion, that they're out trying to gouge us. It's because somebody's getting paid $40,000 a year and they're affecting a huge portion of our life, and in between all of that, they were texting a friend and they hit the wrong button, or they didn't take it into account, or they didn't go, hey, how old is this person? Are they 55 right now or not? They missed it, and incompetent, not good, yes. But the more that we know, the more that we can ensure that we're taken care of and that we don't run into these problems, whether we need to file appeals or work with our congressional member and so forth to make sure that we get this information out there or corrected, and then also getting it out there to all of us, right? So you can do congressional inquiries, all kinds of things. So typically, if the VA is ever going to try to do any sort of reduction to you, you would have time to appeal that and work that. So as long as you are armed with knowledge, you will know how to work that specific situation. So with regard to the VA's 55-year rule, let's take a look into the CFR, which is the Code of Federal Regulations. This is an old one for those that know the color codes. This is an old one, but just so you know how thick they are and what kind of writing they have in them, it sucks, right? So this is an old one because all my newer one is actually in my other office. But just to show you, that's the Code of Federal Regulations in a hard copy version. The good news is that there's actually an e-version, so it's online, super easy, and I actually prefer that, although I tabbed the heck out of that one, because you can control F and find whatever you're looking for fairly easy in the online version. So the 55-year-old rule, fact or fiction, true or false, what is it? Are people making this thing up? No is the answer. And let's look in the CFR, right? So, well, I'll give you kind of off the top of my head with some little notes here. So in the Code of Federal Regulations under 3.327 is the title Reexaminations. And in section B, there's a couple, 1 and 2 little paragraphs. Number 2 paragraph states that no periodic future exams will be requested or scheduled. And then it gives a list of a bunch of reasons why. Under number 4, IV, number 4 of that list, it states, in cases of veterans over 55 years of age, except under unusual circumstances. And that goes back to you're 55, you were getting treated for a specific certain type of cancer that you were probably going to be okay from, and then they may do a re-examination on that. So unusual circumstances, right? So unless it's an unusual circumstance, they should not be doing periodic future exams for you, requesting them to be made or scheduling them for you. If they do and you're over 55, you should inform them that I am over 55 and I should not have a future exam. At least that's what I would do if they contacted me and said, we're setting you up for a new migraine exam, even though you've had migraines for 12 years with the VA, and now I'm 55 or 56, and all of a sudden I get a migraine exam. I would inform them that I'm over 55, and according to CFR 3.327 under, section 2, paragraph 4, however that worked. And I'll put it all in the description below so you have that information. So I'll give you the link to the actual CFR, and then I'll do a copy and paste of the exact language. Again, not doing it verbatim, but just so you get the basics. So the bottom line is that yes, it is the law. So the VA must adhere to it, and if they are scheduling something, it must be of an unusual circumstance in order for them to request that periodic future exam or what have you. So again, lots of information out there. Please hit the thumbs up for me, subscribe, share with a friend. Comments below are important because it helps all of us get on the same page and make sure that we're working from the same sheet of music when it comes to the benefits that we've earned. And I am an absolute advocate for every single one of us when it comes to VA benefits and us retaining them. So one thing that I'm just asking everybody to do is subscribe, share, comment below, and that way it helps kind of bring it to surface, things that we might not be fully aware of, and it's of no fault of our own, right? There's so much information. Believe me, I don't know it all. I know a little bit of this and some of that, and I'm sharing with you everything that I have. So please share this, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks again, and remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.